Attention! Barcelona target Luis Diaz tells Liverpool he wants to leave and join Bayern Munich. Journalist reports that Liverpool is still pushing to sign Alexander Isak despite a deal with Hugo Ekitike. Urgent. Liverpool wants a deal worth over €100 million for the striker. Hello, supporter. Welcome to your news channel for the greatest club in the world. Luis Diaz, Colombian forward for Liverpool, has reportedly informed the English club directly and definitively that he wishes to leave Anfield during this summer transfer window. More than that, he has also made it clear that his preferred destination is Bayern Munich, the traditional German football giant. The news was reported by journalist Florian Plettenberg, a Bundesliga market specialist. According to his findings, Diaz not only expressed his desire to leave, but also showed excitement about the possibility of playing under Vincent Kompany, Bayern's new manager. The Bavarian board has already approved the potential signing, and the Colombian's name has received technical approval to reinforce the team's offensive sector for the 2025 season. Throughout this window, Luis Diaz has been strongly linked to both Bayern and Barcelona. The Catalan club remains interested in the player, but is facing serious financial constraints that prevent it from registering new signings at the moment. This limitation may cause Barca to lose out on the signing, opening the door for Bayern to advance in negotiations. Despite the mutual interest, there is still no definitive agreement between Bayern and Liverpool. The German club has already submitted a substantial offer by market standards, but it was rejected by the Reds. To take the Colombian away from Anfield, Bayern will need to return with an even stronger bid, capable of convincing Liverpool's board to release one of its top players. On the other hand, there are signs that Liverpool is beginning to consider selling Luis Diaz more naturally. The English club is preparing for an offensive overhaul and is actively monitoring the market for replacements. One name gaining traction behind the scenes is Hugo Ekitike, currently at Eintracht Frankfurt. Expectations are that Liverpool will move forward in the coming days with an official offer for the young Frenchman. Given this scenario, the possibility of Luis Diaz wearing Bayern Munich's shirt next season continues to grow. Liverpool's transfer plans for this summer are far from over, and for us fans, the news just keeps getting more exciting. According to Graham Bailey from Rousing the Cop, even with the advanced negotiations for Hugo Ekitike, Liverpool remains firmly interested in Alexander Isak from Newcastle United. And this is not just speculation. The club already contacted Newcastle earlier this week to reaffirm its interest in the 25-year-old Swedish striker. Although the Magpies maintain that Isak is not for sale, sources close to the situation insist that Liverpool has not given up. This persistence carries weight. It shows that Isak remains a major target regardless of other transfer movements. Bailey even notes that, in theory, Liverpool could sign both Ekitike and Isak. In other words, the arrival of the Frenchman doesn't necessarily mean the end of the pursuit of the Swede. This scenario gives us a clear sense that Arne Slot, freshly crowned Premier League champion in his debut season, is determined to build an even more powerful attacking unit for the Reds. The club's board is acting wisely, working on multiple fronts while staying focused on what truly matters, strengthening the squad with players who fit Slot's playing style. However, Liverpool isn't alone in this race. Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia is also eyeing Isak. Like Newcastle, the Saudi club is owned by the same public investment fund, which could facilitate a possible transfer should Newcastle prefer to send their number 14 far from the Premier League and avoid strengthening a direct rival. Still, a move to Saudi Arabia does not appear to be Isak's priority and would likely not sit well with Newcastle fans. Isak is expected to stay at Newcastle for another season, and the club is already working on offering him a new contract. However, if they are unwilling to break their current wage structure to keep him, Liverpool could step in. The Anfield club is adopting a strategic approach, willing to wait until 2026 when Isak enters the final 2 years of his contract, a situation that could lower his market value and make negotiations more favorable. It's worth highlighting that Liverpool's approach is far from an attempt to destabilize either Newcastle or the player. On the contrary, sources firmly state that the relationship between the two clubs is excellent, especially between Eddie Howe and Richard Hughes, both of whom have strong ties to Liverpool's leadership. This shows that Liverpool's interest in Isak is legitimate, based on planning and long-term vision, not underhanded tactics. As a Liverpool fan, it's exciting to see the club being so strategic and ambitious in the market. Alexander Isak would be a perfect addition to the attack with his speed, intelligence, and finishing ability. Even if the signing doesn't happen now, the continued interest signals strong planning for the future. The possible arrival of Ekitike, combined with the ongoing monitoring of Isak, indicates that Liverpool is building a new era under Slot's leadership with the aim of keeping the club at the top for many years to come. According to ESPN Brazil, Liverpool has opened negotiations for striker Rodrigo Goas from Real Madrid. The potential transfer could be around 100 million euros, although no official offer has been made yet. The Reds' interest in the Brazilian is linked to the possible departure of Luis Diaz, as Rodrigo is seen as the ideal target to fill the left wing position. Liverpool appears to be acting strategically and cautiously. The recruitment team is waiting for Bayern Munich's next moves, as the German club has shown interest in Diaz. If Bayern formalizes a favorable proposal, this would pave the way for investment in Rodrigo. Other European giants such as Manchester City, Arsenal, and PSG are also monitoring the situation, making the competition for the player intense. It is still unclear whether Rodrigo wants to leave Real Madrid, but a decision regarding his future is expected soon. If Diaz is sold, Liverpool is likely to act quickly to secure the Brazilian signing. The club does not intend to offer a new contract to Luis Diaz, who is already 28 years old, and there is an internal understanding that, given a good offer, his departure may be inevitable. If that happens, an immediate move for Rodrigo should follow. If the negotiation advances, the Reds' attack could take on a new shape. Rodrigo and Cody Gakpo as options on the left, Hugo Ekitike in the center, and Mohamed Salah on the right, with Florian Wirtz orchestrating the midfield. For now, everything is still behind the scenes, but as recently happened with the Ekitike situation, Liverpool is ready to act quickly if a concrete opportunity arises. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you next time!